Guys, nothing really exciting about the next two places. Everybody's seen a garage, but basically this garage here serves three purposes for our funeral home here. Well, actually four. It's our wash bay. We'll bring our cars in here. The ground slopes to a drainage. That's kind of the musty smell. But it houses our family car or our casket bearer or pallbearer car. Some families choose to ride together in the limousine to go to from the funeral home or church to the cemetery. Sometimes they'll choose the casket bearers. Casket bearers are the guys or family members or ladies who are going to carry the casket over to the gravesite, either from the church to the funeral coach to the gravesite at the cemetery. Sometimes they choose their pallbearers or casket bearers to ride in this car that'll lead out for the services. But this is our wash bay. It also serves as all of our records. We've got paper records. We do most everything the last 10 or 15 years on computer. We've got most computer files, but we do always try to keep a lot of the paper files of things that we keep, legal paperwork, copies of those things, insurance files. It serves as our storage for that. It also serves as, this over here is a 3-tiered body cooler or refrigeration unit where it has 3 tiers. We serve as one of the facilities. He's stepping forward a little bit. It serves as one of the Reno County coroner's morgues, if you will. If there were any other disasters or anything that would, mass fatalities that would happen in Reno County, they would call us so we could serve as refrigeration for 3 units. Hutchinson Hospital also has 2. And then if anything, case need be, our transfer service or our guys here may have to take other remains over to Wichita. Here in Reno County at this time, we do not have an acting coroner. Our acting coroner is actually at the Sedgwick County Coroner's Office in Wichita, so we need to kind of work through that with them. The body cooler also serves as if, once again, we talked about cremation a little bit. If a family chooses cremation rather than traditional embalming and burial, you do not need to have the body embalmed. So that body was placed in here until time can come for the cremation process. Just as we said earlier, with having the body on ice back hundreds of years ago, this will just basically slow down that decomposition process until the cremation could take place. Especially if immediate families, want to have a viewing of their loved one. They can have that time and viewing prior to the cremation without the embalming taking place. But in the state of Kansas, it does need to once again be just that immediate family group, and not able to have friends of the family, coworkers, things like that in there. Now I'm going to be embarrassed because I said there were 4 purposes, and I can't think of the 4th. Well, at that point, we'll kind of step around this side and go to our other garage. Guys, once again, this is just a larger garage. We've got storage for caskets. We've got storage for the containers that the bodies are cremated in. We require that the body be placed in a fiberboard container to be cremated. Those are just collapsible units that we put together, place the remains in, and those remains, once again, with the ID tag, are placed in the crematory. A couple different vehicles we use. Once again, this is a basic funeral coach. The casket is placed in here. When we leave here, go to the church, and then to the church, to the cemetery for burial. Or if we're having services here, we'll have the coach out on the east side of the building. The casket will come out of the chapel, be placed in the coach by those pallbearers, and then we'll make our way on over to the cemetery once again for burial. Kind of just a utility vehicle that we have, a cargo van, pretty typical cargo van or minivan within the funeral industry. Making removals of the human body from a nursing home or location. Transporting flowers, going long distances. If we don't use the funeral coach, say for example if we had a death in Denver and we needed to go to Denver to make the removal of the body, sometimes we may use airlines, but if it's too complicated, we'd either have to use the funeral coach or a cargo vehicle to make the removal from a funeral home in Denver to come back to our facilities to plan for funerals here. Basically, other than that, storage for other items, workbenches, tools, all of our yard equipment, things like that, extra chairs for those overflow times. Like I said, typical garage. Got a lot of that, most everything that everybody else would have in their garages other than caskets and a hearse.